good question was asked concerning fasting. So I am entitling this clip Promiscuous Fasting. The term promiscuous fasting I got from the great naturopath and teacher, Professor Arnold Rett, who was here in the early 1900s in this part of the world. He was from Germany. He was a great, great naturopath and introduced a lot of scientific concepts that were really a total slap in the face to a lot of the lies that were being developed at that time, metabolism and other lies that he points out in his book, The Mucusless Diet Healing System. But I would like to speak today in terms of promiscuous fasting, because this is a very, very critical subject, especially in light of the cleanse fad age that we're going through right now. So you have everybody that's doing some kind of cleanse, everybody that's doing some type of detox, a lot of people even religiously or spiritually are fasting, which is not a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if you don't understand methodology. Promiscuous fasting, a person, let's say, that has been eating nothing but fast food for the last 5 or 10 years, and they suddenly decide that they're going to fast. Now, if you understand the word fasting, why is the word fast something that applies to speed used to describe this process of the body not eating? Because as you know, our bodies are made up of energy. So energy is constantly moving. The life force is constantly moving in our bodies. We will say fasting because when you stop eating and you give the body time to digest the residue of deposits of food, the life force begins to move faster. So the ancients would denote this as fasting or cleansing the body by means of speeding up the life force when the body or the digestive system is idle. Okay, so if all you've been eating is garbage for months and months and months, and then you decide that you're going to help the life force to move faster by doing what we call fasting, sounds real spiritual, sounds real divine or something, in line with piety or so forth. The problem is, if you don't understand what you're doing yourself more harm than good. Now trust me, you're talking to an experienced promiscuous faster. When I first began, not long before my studies as a naturopath, fasting was something I was very interested in as a young child. And I did a lot of promiscuous fasting, and I paid for it. So this is the benefit of having a teacher to teach you the proper way of fasting, so that you don't stumble and make a lot of these trial and errors that you don't have to go through if you could just submit for a short time to a little discipline from a teacher who knows what he's talking about. And if you feel the Nurah Cleanse class is that class, and that I, by the grace of the Most High, am that teacher that you can trust, then I could save you a lot of the blunders that you would normally go through in your practice of promiscuous fasting. So you've been eating 5 to 10 years on junk food, then suddenly you decide, I'm going to not eat for 2 weeks. Okay, you're going to have headaches. You're going to be dizzy if you even make it. If you even make it through the 2 weeks. You're going to be extremely ill. Headaches, dizziness, pain, general pain. You might feel your heart palpitating. You might feel like you have a heart murmur. Why? Because you have toxins from toxic food as well as medicines that are locked into the system, that when you stop eating, your life force goes into those tissues and pulls them out. So this is why in my class I would not have you to do a long fast at first, or even a fast at first. We would start with a light cleanse using fluids that will begin to wash away the tissues, the toxins that are on the tissues, so that as they come out, they don't come out into the bloodstream. Just imagine, like, if you ever had a fish aquarium, you know how when you're cleaning the aquarium, you have algae that formulates along the walls of the aquarium. Well, when you go down to to move the rocks around and cleanse the walls of the aquarium off, where does that algae go? It's going to go right into the water. It doesn't magically disappear, right? When you put the chlorine drops in that, it doesn't eat away the waste. That's why you don't do that. You do that after you put the new water in, because the general concept is understood that you have to first cleanse the old before you can put in the new. Well, the body is no different. The walls of your intestine are like the walls of the aquarium. When you begin to move the waste around the system, that waste goes into the bloodstream, which in this case is like your water. Okay, well, if it's in your bloodstream and your blood is constantly pumping, and every 8 minutes and 20 seconds the blood leaves the head, goes to the feet, and comes back to the head, you're going to be experiencing now toxins in the blood. And if you don't have some form of a detergent or a methodology that removes these toxins as fast as they're coming out, you're going to suffer. Does that make sense? So this is why promiscuous fasting is something that I definitely don't condone. I would rather condone you do it the proper way under the guidance of a naturopathic teacher who